Still waiting for our guest to come. Jen? Wow. Jen, wow. Hello. You're number one, Jen. Wow. I'm waiting on our guest. My special guest is Dodge Landesman. I think that's how you pronounce it. Dodge said he'd be here. I don't see him backstage. I sent him a link. He said he'd be here in a half hour. That was at 1:30 my time. Uh-oh. Do I hear something? No, that was a false alarm. Oh, no false alarm here. Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Dodge Landesman. How are you, Dodge?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent.
Nice
Finally made it. You finally made it.
Appreciate your patience. Thanks for being amenable.
I've been wanting to interview for the longest time.
Well, sorry it took me this long. Usually somebody asks, I'll say yes, and I'm a fan of yours as well. But I'm sorry.
I'm a big fan of
yours. Such a quite a bit of time.
Talking about fans, I want to know. Hello, MJ. I gotta say hello to the guests.
Oh, cool. You got some chats. Oh, nice.
Jen Wow. Jen Wow is here. She's she's your female number one fan. I'm your male number one fan. So you got two fans right there.
I like it. 2 for 1. 2 for 1.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Well, thank you guys both. And I've got to share your thing so my audience.
Please do.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, now that you have an official link, I was looking for an official link. So we'll do that as well. Or I'll just share your page. Because I wonder if I can share the actual stream or not. But
I don't know
how
to do that.
Perfect. Take me all of 2 minutes. I'll say, hey, I'll be on with you.
This is awesome. I can take these earmuffs off, right? I don't know if I'll be able to hear you that well, though.
Well, that's whatever. I can hear you great now. I'm sure I can hear you without it. So whatever.
Oh, Dodge, I'm so honored to have you.
Thank you.
Because you know a lot about Scientology, whereas
I've been in the thick of it.
I'm a rookie when it comes to that.
Okay, interesting. Well, you've made your mark though. You know, people know what you've contributed.
Yeah, I know Jen Wells, your female number one fan, and I'm your male number one fan. As we've established, you're the best. Okay,
well, now it's been posted.
What's that?
Hopefully, I said now I just posted that I'm on with you. So hopefully my audience, some of my audience can come as well.
Oh, is your audience in there too?
Well, I just literally, as we were talking, I posted on my YouTube saying, hey, if you want to check out the Michael Malloy show, here's the link, and I'm live. So that's what I was kind of looking to the side a little bit. I want to give a little blast on my own channel for you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
Oh, dude, this is an honor.
Thank you. It's good to be on with you. You know, you've been really covering a lot of these little developments that are hard to keep track of.
Miss Stephanie from Australia says, hi, Michael and Dodge.
Hello, Miss Stephanie.
Miss Stephanie from Oyland. You ever been to Australia?
I have. Yeah. I took a trip. I flew into Brisbane and I flew out of, I want to say Melbourne, but I did. I went to Sydney and Coffs Harbour and Canberra and Brisbane and Melbourne and
Canberra's the
Gold Coast. It was a lot of fun.
Canberra
capital,
is the capital, yeah.
It is, and it's cool because it's the only time because you don't. I didn't think I would, but you don't see kangaroos in Melbourne or Sydney. You really don't. But in Canberra, in the parks over there, they would just kind of blown away. I didn't know you could really see them in the wilds like that. But you go to the park and they're just kind of hopping all around. It's very cool. I can visit to the Australia capital. Melbourne's beautiful too. So Miss Stephanie's from Melbourne.
I've never been. The only foreign country I've been to is Tijuana, Mexico. That's it. Hooray for Tijuana, Mexico.
It's beautiful. Tijuana is a lot of fun. You get in some trouble.
Yeah, it is.
It's worth the visit.
Oh, bad.
It's more than most, though. It's more than most, even being in Mexico, that's more than most Americans. So I'll commend you for that.
I got my Mountain Dew.
I think the percentage is like 75% of Americans never been out of the country. And I think like 80% of Americans haven't seen more than 2 states.
Interesting.
So, doing better than most. You're out in Utah, right? Are you Salt Lake or
no? I'm in St. George, Utah. I'm in St.
George. Oh, you're in St. George.
I was born in Salt Lake City, Utah. LDS Hospital. It's not owned by the LDS anymore. They sold it a long time ago.
They did. Okay, but St. George isn't that near the Warren Jeff stuff within 45 minutes?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the famous hub. It's like
it's right near Hilldale, Utah, which is FLDS. Yes. And Warren Jeff's Colorado City, Arizona is Warren Jeff's. And he's in a prison in Texas, right?
I believe so. Yes. Are they still active in Hillsdale? Because the Arizona one is different than the Hills. I know it's the Four Corners, but the Arizona one is different than the Hillsdale one, right? It's like they're two different. I think they're two. I always can't remember what is still active and what's not. But
they're still in Hillsdale and they're still in Colorado City, Arizona.
Yes,
and some of them have been interviewed. They don't like Warren Jeffs, all that kind of weird crap going on.
Right, a lot of them don't. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to. I'll maybe we'll do something in person because going back to LA, I think I would stop in Salt Lake, but I think I'd also stop in St. George to check out. And go to
come to St. George. Come visit me.
That would be fun. I'd love that. Yeah. So we'll do an in-person.
I can't because I don't drive.
Maybe I'll drive you if you want. You get in my car, we can check out Hillsdale.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
we could do a live stream together on it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Come. Well, I gotta give you my address, man.
Yeah. Well, I got your email, so we'll be in touch about it. It probably wouldn't be for September, October, but not too far.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I can't. Like I said, I don't drive, so
that's all right. Well, I'll do the driving. No.
Oh, dude, that'd be happy. That would be great. Okay, so tell me now. You've been a reporter for how long? How long have you been reporting?
Well, that's a good question. The definition is what is a reporter? But I've been doing journalistic reporting things with this for the past year. I got busted with the whole Scientology stuff almost, I want to say 2 years ago now, almost at this point. And then before that, I was in the news business for about 2 years. So I want to say 5 years altogether.
Which news agency? Or
I was a local news reporter. So that's how I got involved in the Scientology scene, because I talked about Lisa Marie Presley, and I noted that she was probably going to testify in the Danny Masterson retrial, that she was on the witness list for the original trial, but then they didn't let her testify. But that she was on the list for the Danny Masterson, of course, a famous Scientologist who got found guilty for assault and much worse. So I talked about that, just saying, hey, this should be part of her legacy. And the Church of Scientology got so mad they threatened to sue my station unless they fired me. And then I got this audience, or a good amount of this audience, from going off of my own YouTube. And I connected with Chris Shelton and Aaron Smith 11 and Tony Ortega. So both sides, but then I connected with all of them and was able to get a decent following. So that's kind of how it all started, which is a bit. And I was in the New York Post, which was fun. And George Takei tweeted about me from Star Trek, Perez Hilton. So it was a very minor star turn, but it was a lot of fun.
How was Shelton? How was he?
That's a good question.
You interviewed him, Chris Shelton?
He interviewed me moreover. Although I quite liked him. You know, he has this. A lot of people have issue with him for a myriad of reasons.
I sort of have an issue with him.
I don't blame you. What's your issue? Do you feel like he doesn't want to work well with others, and is always resentful and
Well, okay. Your background is you are you a convert to the Mormon Church, or were you raised in it?
So I don't know how you know that I am technically a baptized Mormon from 6 years ago. I don't believe in any of it. I grew up non-religious, and I always felt like, well, I always believed in Jesus, that he was the Son of God in some way, but I think there could still be Buddha and whatever. And so it's like, well, I may as well get baptized. And LDS counts as some sort of Christian sect in a way.
Well, they call us the Protestants and the Catholics call us a cult.
They say you're not Christian,
which which Jesus Christ is that? That's the one we all. This is the Christian Jesus Christ. So
right, they all believe in it. The LDS,
but they say we have a different Jesus, not of the Bible.
Right,
that's the Jesus of the Bible. That's who I worship. Okay,
right.
Just
of course, you're LDS. Cool. So there you go. We have that.
I am LDS. Yes.
Very cool. I'm
proud to be LDS, by the way.
Yeah,
and I don't consider myself a cult unless they keep saying that I'm a cult. Then all religions are a cult.
Right. Well, I joined because I was in the middle of Manhattan, grew up in the middle of Manhattan. It was just nice to have sober friends. People pollute themselves with so much drugs and alcohol, and I need to get better at that personally. Still, words of wisdom, but yeah, even if it was great to have a sober group of friends and still involved socially, and maybe some point I'll get more connected with the church. I've been so busy, but it's been a positive influence. Absolutely.
So you don't have anything. You're not against it. Hello, little Linda. Hello, Miss Stephanie. Hello, Fred Franklin.
Hello. We got a nice crew.
Yeah, nice little group. It's it's great. We got great mods, and I noticed Miss Stephanie now has a membership.
Cool.
It cost her 99 cents, but it's more in Aussie dollars. I think it was. She said
that is true.
$1.50.
That exchange rate.
She said it was, or $1.35 or something like that.
That exchange rate, it doesn't do well with the Australians. Fortunately, everything's cheaper. It's nice to meet Americans.
Tuesday, we're going to have a special. Tuesday, we're going to have a special membership. So,
cool. Okay,
we're gonna, do you have a membership on your channel?
I do. If anybody wants to become a member, I think it's more expensive than yours. I think mine is like $3, something like that.
Do you usually? How often do you do yours?
What, my memberships or YouTube?
Yeah, no membership.
Oh, I had an original crazy membership that was like $30 to see if I think one person did it. I never really cared about it at all. And then people kept saying you should change your thing. So I never promote membership. It's not really a big part of either. I have one little icon. That's my dog. That's literally the only benefit that you get from membership. You could use a picture of my dog as an emoji. But other than that, there's absolutely no benefits to being a member. And I don't ever really promote it. But people, I think I have something like 15 members. Not bad. So they're, I have a little cadre, and I never really promote it. No.
Okay. Here's some more questions I have for you.
Please ask away.
You don't mind, right?
Not at all. Not at all. Look.
Oh, Miss Stephanie has a question for you. Who's the most interesting person you have interviewed? She wants to know.
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Who's the most interesting?
That came from an Australian asking that question.
Yes.
Oi, 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 oi. Fair
Oi.
dinkum, mate.
That's a great. People have their issue with him, but I think Mitch Brisker was actually fascinating to get his inside perspective.
Who?
In science, Mitch Brisker was a guy who was involved in Scientology. Who
Was
could
he a
be
member of
controversial.
Scientology?
Mitch Brisker used to be the guy who would produce most of the videos that Scientology would put out, and he was kind of the creative director of most of Scientology media for quite a long time. And he has a book which people should check out. But he left the church as recently as a year and a half ago. And he worked directly with David Miscavige, head of the church. So he has a lot of really interesting stories. I thought he was pretty compelling personally, because I like old music, but nobody knows what I'm talking about. I interviewed Little Anthony and his Imperials, who made I Think I'm Going Out of My Head way back in Tears in My Pillow. And for me, that was the most interesting because I'm obsessed with 1950s music, and I had a great time interviewing him. But for other people, and he was interesting too, because he talked about his experience traveling the segregated South in the 50s and how the Klan went on his bus, and it was fascinating. But for people with less esoteric tastes, I'd probably say Mitch Brisker, oddly enough. Yeah.
Interesting.
Good question.
Yeah. What was I was going to ask you another one. Making a statement. I'm making a statement of Chris Shelton. He was on Mormon Stories.
John DeLynn. I've watched that. Yeah, that's an interesting.
Oh yeah, did you watch that? Okay.
Once in a while.
Yeah, John DeLynn's an anti-Mormon. He used to be a member.
Yes, so I know. Yeah, it's always interesting to watch anti of any religion just to watch it. But yes, no,
I watch anti stuff too because I want to know what the enemy is talking about towards pro-Mormonism. Because I'm a pro-Mormon. I'm not anti-Mormon at all.
I'm not. I didn't get more involved. I would say I'm lapsed, but I joined and have a lot of respect. And would like to get reconnected at some point. I felt bad for the missionaries who's having such a tough time in Manhattan. So I was like, I guess I'll get baptized. But I really respect, how they live their lifestyle, and it was certainly a safety tool for me to be surrounded by, very healthy people who are not polluting themselves. So I need to get back into it. But I still have a temple recommend, so I still have that. So
wow,
yeah. So I do have that, but I'll reconnect once, because I'm never in one place. That's the issue.
I think it's a great religion.
Yeah, certainly. There's a lot to be appreciated about, and I think the healthy lifestyle and the togetherness and is crucial. And the way they're one of the few religions where you after church you go and you kind of talk about it after, you kind of process it, which I really like. I think it's more analytical than most in that.
Here's a question for you.
Sure.
Is there sort of hate between Mormon versus Scientology, Dodge?
Au contraire, is some feel that the LDS president has had some connections on some local levels with some Scientology leaders. I have to look more into that. But regrettably, I think there's some semblance of an allegiance, at least with maybe not with the head prophet, but with some bishops in some specific areas. So I don't think they really clash with each other, but I could be wrong.
I saw Lee Remini. Was it Lee?
Yeah,
it was Lee Remini, and Larry King interviewed her, and Larry King mentioned that L. Ron Hubbard stole a lot of ideas from the Mormon Church.
I've heard that. Yep. Right.
Yep. I believe
certainly that Tijiak, versus Kolob Tijiak, they're both quite unique, and instead of which I know the terrestrial plane, there is also a heaven. But there's also other planets, which LDS has that uniquely in common with Scientology, which I find to be interesting.
Mhm.
Kolob and Tishak. There's a bit of an overlap.
Yeah.
But then, yeah. So, but maybe they feel like they have something that they both connect with each other on. I don't know, but I know they've done like occasional symposiums and different stuff like that together. But I mean, Scientology is also connections with Islamic Brotherhood, Louis Farrakhan, et cetera, et cetera. So it's interesting.
It is. You don't have anything against Mormons, right?
No, far from. I'm saying I want to reconnect. Far from it. Far from it.
There
far
you
from
go.
Yeah, I'm
You
still
can
baptized.
come
I
back.
haven't renounced anything. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Is there's such a positive, healthy influence in my life, and to not pollute. And sometimes I feel like I pollute myself too much with marijuana or other stuff or cigarettes. And they're a healthy influence in my life, and I want to reconnect. I think with that healthy influence. And
That's great.
no,
don't listen to Chris Shelton or John DeLynn because they're way off.
Sure.
I think they're doing that for money too. I think they do that for money.
May very well. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
And the last thing is I like that the church is moving forward into the modern age at a much more rapid pace than Catholics might be or Baptists might be. And I think there's more of an acceptance for gay people and you can see them becoming more modern and openly accepting than a lot of other sects of Christianity. So I have respect for that. And, yeah, they're getting in with the times. So, yeah. So, yeah, I'll reconnect with you too and say, how do I reconnect? But I've been wanting to reconnect with one of the elders, because you see them all the time. And the problem is they've shifted my records like 6 times because I've always moved. Yeah. So they're always shifting my records. But yeah, I'll connect. I'm in the West, so there's a lot of them. So I'll connect with an elder or a sister missionary or get the process started again. Great book.
That's great. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. It's very awesome. Powerful. Yeah.
This book will change your spiritual connection.
Yeah. Sure. It's a lot of food for thought in there.
It is not Dianetics.
No.
That will not change you.
Not as long as Dianetics either, so that's good.
This book will change you spiritually. It's very powerful. That's the second witness of Jesus Christ. So there you go.
Well, that's what I loved about Joseph Smith is he's kind of a radical. He was anti-prison, anti-slavery, and was really this kind of very radical left-wing guy. And so he kind of started a lot of that political thinking. So I admire that, and there's a lot of, so definitely check out the book. It's free. That's the best part.
It is. You can contact.
Unlike the Trump Bible, you have to pay Trump for the Trump Bible. So this one you don't have to pay.
Like the Trump guitars, right?
Right.
Okay, here's some questions I have for you.
Please.
What do you think of Streets LA and his protesting?
That's a good question. What do I think of?
And the others also. I want to go one by one.
That's a fun question. I think generally pretty good. I think he's created a lot of awareness.
Didn't he sort of start the protesting? Sort of.
He pretty much started it. I would say so.
Yeah.
Before I got there. And then just
before I started watching.
Right. So, right. And he, people really do know him. I remember I was covering the election in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin, and I was on the bus with these young people. And I was talking to them, and I covered a Trump and Harris rally the same day, but we were on the bus to a Harris rally. And they were asking me because I was saying I have a YouTube, and they're asking me what my topic is. I said, I do also Scientology protests. They're like, oh yeah, we watched this guy, Streets LA. I'm like, wow, all the way out in Wisconsin randomly, these people knew who Streets LA was. So, the name of the game is getting as many eyeballs on this destructive cult as he possibly can, right?
Uh-huh.
So, I think he's funny. I think he's more aggressive than I would be, certainly. But I think
Same
his
here.
heart is in the right place. A lot of clashing with DOA and stuff like that. But
Yeah. See, I was going to ask, that was my next question. I think you're not finished with Streets yet, but my next question would be, what do you think of DOA? But go ahead with the Streets LO
Yeah.
thing, because I like
Yeah.
him the best. He's my favorite. Just saying.
You're saying like the best or the best?
Pardon me?
Streets the best. You said you like DOA the best or Streets the best?
Oh no, Streets is the best.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel that way too. I don't. You never know who's a hardcore fan of DOA and they're our sub, but
DOA,
I think
it's really.
I mean, right. In terms of who's thrown bombs and who's acted rationally, Streets has acted rationally. DOA has only thrown bombs. And there are some people who just want to start division just to create that division for no reason. It's entertainment for them. It's views. And I think Streets has always had the focus to really stick it to Scientology. He's pretty magnanimous. He doesn't really hold a grudge unless the other person keeps bringing it up. And he doesn't think he's this Christ-like figure. He doesn't refer to his chat as minions. He doesn't issue directives. And it's weird because DOA kind of views himself as this megamaniacal leader. And so the ego is so domineering with DOA, which that's not present, I don't think, in Streets whatsoever. And one's easier to work with, one's not. And obviously it's Streets who's easier to connect with. So I don't think there's that much of a competition, but that's just me.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. I agree with you on that.
I think, and last thing about that is DOA always makes things worse for himself. And I think in this court case that he is facing, I think the charges are unfair. But frankly, he made it bad for himself at every single turn. And let's say that Streets was in this. Streets wouldn't do anything in that situation. But let's say he was, it would, he wouldn't yell at people right after his court will be used against him. Streets wouldn't wait as possible minute to get an attorney and take this case seriously. Streets wouldn't be bad-mouthing people involved in the case, make it much worse. But of course, he wouldn't get involved in that charge in the first place. And it is funny because the general feeling is, well, if you're a protester, you will get arrested. Plenty of protesters who have never been arrested because they know how to do it. And they know how to hold their breath for a little moment. And they know how to swallow their pride for half a second, which avoids any damage to the movement. So you do see a very tangible difference, in my opinion, between the two.
Has Streets ever been arrested in the Scientology protests?
I don't think he ever has.
I don't think he has.
Because I would have known that.
We know DOA has.
Yes.
We know he's been arrested. I don't think so either.
I don't believe he ever had. Pretty positive he hasn't.
Okay, and what do
that
you
would be my guess.
Gotcha. What do you think of ZDT?
Not highly, although he's my bread and butter. So mixed emotions. I'm kidding. I don't think well of it at all.
I loved your interview with him, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
When you were at the courthouse, I saw every second of that. I didn't miss it.
Oh, good.
That was an awesome interview. I was surprised you even got an interview from him.
I was surprised.
You're like my favorite reporter out there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Out on the streets there.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm serious. I am.
That's, it means the world because with the YouTube stuff, when you don't get the steady paycheck, you don't have a boss. Like you always wonder, like, is my work useful to somebody? And it means the world that you find it useful and like, okay, good. There's a point. There's a point to everything I'm doing because it's so slapdash. And, sometimes you make money, the other week you make nothing. But I was want to remember, well, somebody really enjoys this content and information, and I do it for them. So thank you. And I admire your work as well. So it's always, it's nice to get that support.
Thank you. Now, who is still sassy at 60? Hi, Dodge. Good conversation.
She's a fan of mine. I know still sassy at 60. She's been in my chats. Nice to have you.
How do you get all these great looking women?
I don't think I do.
I'd be asking them out, man. Play the field.
I've tried once in a while. I've tried. Not that successfully.
She's pretty. Look at that. Sassy's
pretty. I can't even. I haven't seen her picture yet, but maybe a better eyes than I do. You're funny. I know some are very attractive. That's true. But I'm not. I'm not Mr. Casanova. But it's funny. I could have 1,000 fans, but nobody will say, "Oh, that person's attractive." Not one. Like I've literally had 10,000 subscribers. That's when you know that you don't do well with women because there's not a
21 subscribers. I'll subscribe to her channel right now.
Well, yeah, please do.
There you go. But she doesn't have, there's no content.
What? For hers? No, I know she's a fan of mine.
Yeah.
You're funny, Miss
So is Jen Wow. Where did Jen Wow go?
I don't know. I don't even know what Jen Wow's been a friend. I don't know what Jen Wow looks like. I think of Jen Wow. I think of Jay Wow from Jersey Shore, but that's not who Jen Wow is. Who's a character.
Jen Wow's a fan of yours.
He is. Yeah, I know Jen Wow very well. I'm a fan of hers as well.
Stephanie, how do you know that? She's psychic.
Yeah, that's impressive. I think you might, Michael. It seems like you do better than I do. I don't have. They call it game.
I don't have no game.
I think you do. I wouldn't sell yourself short. I think it's better.
I'm selling myself short because I have no game. You got game, dude.
Thank you. I'd like to think
a lot of them pretty women come into your chat. You have more subscribers than I do.
That's true. They don't want to go out with me though, so it doesn't really matter.
Have you asked them out?
No, I really tried. I did go out with two. I met up with two girls and had a great time. So hasn't not happened to happen twice. So
we should do a double date. One of your women for me and one of the women for you.
Let's do it. Yeah, that event. We'll set that up.
One of the women on your side can go out with me. Ladies, Michael, I'm available.
If I come to, Michael, I love older women. And I wonder if I come to Utah, do you have some LDS friends who somehow never got married or maybe unfortunately got divorced? That would be right up my, because the Mormon women are the most beautiful. And my type are women probably in their 40s, early 50s, high 30s. So if there's anyone that range, because Mormon women are the most, LDS women are the most beautiful women in the world, but they're rarely available. But I wonder at your age, maybe there might be,
Well, you know how old I am, right?
I'm going to guess you're in your 50s. I'm going to guess you're 54.
Higher.
You're older?
Well, look at still sassy at 60 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm higher than that.
No, you're higher than 60? Yep. What's your secret?
MJ said 72 and MJ is correct. I'm 72
No, you're 72? You hold up well. I would have said 54, 55, something like that. What's your secret?
What do you mean what's my secret?
Looking young. I would not have thought 72. I
look like Brigham Young.
No, he said looking young. That's hilarious. No,
I don't care if you're Brigham, just Brigham Young.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's nice word.
I am a jokester, I have to admit.
It's funny.
You joke a lot.
Good. I like them.
You got to have a good sense of humor. Women love good sense of humor.
They do. That's the only positive attribute I could use, because I'm not very cool and I'm not smooth. So at least I can be funny.
All you have to do, pick up the phone, give me your digits, and I'll take you out. You have a car, I don't.
That's true. That helps that I have a car. People generally like it because it's a yellow Chevy Camaro. So it's
You have a yellow Chevy Camaro? What year?
2014. I wish it were like 1975 or something, but no. But it's the closest that
2014?
you can get to like the old school muscle cars, I would say.
It's pretty clean, right?
My
Keep it
car
up
is
really
the
well.
opposite.
Yeah.
Are we sarcastic?
No, I'm serious. It's pretty
Oh.
clean, right?
My car or that car in general?
No, the car that you own.
I would say it's the opposite of clean. There's stuff on the floor, and I never clean it, because I almost live at it.
That sounds like me.
But there,
In
well,
my
hey, we have a lot in
room.
common.
Wait, have you ever been married?
No, never married.
I've been married
Nope.
twice.
Oh, what do you think? Are you happy you did it, or are you unhappy you did it?
The first marriage, I got married in the LA Temple
Cool.
for time and all eternity. She divorced me.
Sorry, you're
Second marriage, Justice of the Peace, and
Oh,
she passed away of COVID.
I'm sorry. Till death did you
Yeah,
part.
thank you. Huh?
Till death did you part.
Yep.
In that situation.
Yep.
Oh, that's hard though. That's hard, especially once you feel like that you got it figured out.
Still sassy at 60, likes you. She says, Dodge and Dog are rambling men. They live like rambling men.
Lord, I was born a rambling man, trying to make a living doing the best I can. So the old song goes.
That's the Allman Brothers.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
My
fine.
kind of jam music.
I
love classic rock.
Oh, nice. Me too. I go older. I go even I like 70s, but I go way back to the 50s, like
50s?
Bill Haley,
You
Chuck
like
Berry,
50s?
Little Richard. Yeah. So I'm way old. Bill
Elvis
Haley,
Presley,
Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Fats Domino. Those are the people I really kind of adore. I'm really like a 90-year-old man at heart in terms of my music taste, the way I dress, most things. So in a lot of senses, I'm older than you. By 18 years or something. Kidding.
Oh, okay.
Just for the music that I like. But
so
old soul.
Still sassy. Is she eligible for you, Dodge?
60 might be a little north of what I'm looking at. Maybe 55 might be the cutoff.
Your cutoff is 55?
I mean, there's some people who are 70 who look beautiful. They have the right plastic surgery. James Seymour.
I look great for 72.
You do. Christy Brinkley, I think she's 70. I would date her. But not most 70-year-old women will not look like Christy Brinkley.
How about Demi Moore? She's in her 60s, though. How about Demi Moore? Demi Moore.
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Well,
she hasn't changed much.
I saw The Substance, which is pretty interesting. She was in that movie. And knockout the whole time. And I think she's like 55, 56. Totally. Problem
Hello,
is
Daniel Berry Sports.
Say that again?
Hello, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights.
Oh, hello.
I got that out. Where are the nice looking women on my channel at?
There are a few.
Little Linda's married. Miss Stephanie's got a boyfriend.
Well, there you go. Well, you already know. Good for you. You're on the ball. Well, you got to travel around. You got to take a bus and meet some of these people. Take a train to Los Angeles or something.
Oh, Demi62 says Susan P. Hello, Susan P. Okay, anyway, I'm getting off track, off subject. Who else do you regard protester? How about
Dan Watts, LA, Mindy, big fans of.
Yeah, what do you think of Mindy?
I think she's awesome. I think she will win her RO case against ZDT. And, it just goes to show that there's no reasoning in playing nice with him, because ZDT essentially said, I'll attack you unless you stop talking about me. And Minty barely ever did, but she released a video saying, okay, I'm no longer talking about ZDT. And he continued to attack her, and he continued to try to get her fired from her job. and he continued to harass her mother, and he continued to do these, quite frankly, very evil things. So what she proved is that the only approach is to knock him constantly, because he'll still come after you even if you try to make peace and play nice. So, Mindy has every right for this restraining order.
Did she get it?
Well, we don't know yet. It won't be. I don't think it'll be till July. So, in these early court processes, people get continuances more often than not. Although the judge at that time said that ZDT's attorney said that ZDT was never served, and the judge says that's total BS. ZDT is officially considered served. So that was a victory in that regard. And ZDT tried to spin it because there wasn't an RO hearing right then and there that he had a victory. But he didn't have anything close to a victory. Nothing close to being close to a victory, quite frankly. So, yeah, the lawyer said he wasn't served, and not true. So I think she'll win that case. I think she'll win it fairly easily. And that's the thing I do lament about DOA. She's a great ray of sunshine. And there's, DOA has been the clouds to discourage that sun from shining. And he's been like that with other people where they don't want to be involved because he's so antagonistic and goes out of his way to say, well, why are you not talking about me? They don't even have to mention his name, and he gets mad at them. And unfortunately, I think she is one of those great figures who is likable, who is charismatic, who is a great communicator, has a beautiful singing voice. You want to talk about, I had a big crush on her. She rejected me flat out. But when I met her, I had a big crush on her. Speaking of attractive
who's that?
Women on the street. Me, I was saying I had a big crush on Mindy. How could you not?
Oh, you had a crush on Mindy?
Yeah. She was not into it.
Reject you?
Totally respect that. No. Yeah. Which she's more than welcome to. She did very much. But but it's easy to see why. And it's a shame because I think somebody like her, if she were the head of the movement, it would get a lot more eyeballs and be taken more seriously. And it's unfortunate that DOA is that figurehead versus somebody, again, like her, great singing voice, attractive, just kind of magnetic. You want to watch her, right? And it's a shame that people like that were scared off because of the guy who's been very antagonistic.
Oh, wow. Speaking of
Stay with Dan walks LA.
What's up? Jen, wow. At the very beginning, DOA was talking about bad actors, and Jen got the Bad Actor Award from DOA. What do you think of that?
I can't keep track. Apparently, it's I don't know what she did. I can't keep track of it at all. I don't even know what she did. I have no idea. It's a good question, though.
I don't know what she did either. I don't think she knows what she did.
No. They rarely ever do. It's this thing that you don't even know you did, and you should have known you did it. And it's like, how do you know?
Susan P. says they need to leave Mindy alone. Well, ZDT needs to leave her alone. That's for sure.
A lot of people need to live. Yeah, but particularly ZDT. But DOA is being critical of Mindy as well. And it's like very critical for a good amount of time.
Is he calling her a bad actor?
He did. He has called her a bad actor. Yes.
He did? Yes. He called you a bad actor too, right?
Yeah, it goes back and forth every other week. So I don't really care what he calls it. But yes, right now I'm a bad actor.
He really
the day before I was not a bad actor, but the day before that I was a bad actor. So I go from being a bad actor to not being a bad actor to being a bad actor again, all in the span of 3 days. So he can make that decision. Right. And all I have to do is some stupid rib guy. They're being mad at the guy who cooked the ribs. He's given a lot of money to people. So I don't know why people hate him so much.
Is Rib Guy cool?
I like Rib. I've always enjoyed his company. People are saying Rib Guy was part of this grand conspiracy. I never saw evidence for that. I know that Rib Guy was very financially supportive of people, which I appreciate. And not only was it financially supportive, but he worked hard, a lot of leg work and actually grilling everything. And grills are quite good. So, it's a shame to chase him away because I think he was, I think financially he really took care of some protesters, which is appreciated. But sometimes these people get chased away. Sometimes they're straight up evil, like 86 GOP. But I don't think
Is he a friend of ZDT now?
86 GOP?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
Money?
That's
what I thought. I was surprised.
Yeah, that's my conception. I think he's the reason ZDT still has attorneys and stuff is because of 86 GOP. That's funny. Yeah. Bad actors: Madonna, Pauly Shore, Lindsay Lohan, Drew Barrymore. Very true. Those are literal bad actors.
So you do like Streets, right? Streets LA, right?
Yeah. Big fan. Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's my favorite protester out there. He knows what he's doing, and he's really good at it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's probably my favorite streamer, I would say. And certainly is the one who has gotten the most amount of eyeballs to the cause. And that should always be appreciated.
Okay. And let's see. I'm trying to think. What do you think of who's that guy's name that always wore a yellow raincoat that said he worked for Rolling Stone?
Oh,
what was his name? Do you remember who I'm talking about?
No, I do vaguely know who you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. I can't remember his name. Anyone in the audience know?
It wasn't Zach. It wasn't Zach, I assume. It wasn't Zachary.
Zach.
There's a guy who called himself Zachary Obama, who called, but I think it's different. I do know
that you're talking Zach. About. That is his name, Zach.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. He was an interesting cat. Yeah.
Zach, was he really a reporter? He's the one that always would get like DOA, what do they call it? Swatted.
Right. The question is, what is a reporter? What is not? Some people say I'm not a reporter. I always say you decide what the definition of that term is.
How about anyone with the camera could be a reporter, right?
Sure. See, in some sense, I don't really.
There you go. There you go. I'm a reporter.
Right. Yeah. Some people say you have to earn it. Some people say you don't. Look, I mean, people hate journalists. Like, you could be left, and so you could hate a journalist and say they're not a journalist because they do work for Fox News. You could be on the right and say and somebody could have 10 years of experience, and you could say that person's not a journalist. They're on MSNBC. All they ever do is lie, and they're slanted, and they're not journalists. So the definition, I don't really get too worried, because the definition of a journalist has denigrated. Nobody, most people consider journalism to be doing work that they agree with. That's so it's a meaningless term because people have bastardized it so much, and they've made it so partisan, where really I don't care if I'm a journalist or a reporter, because now people only consider reporters people that agree with them. So there's no real, it's not real. I'm somebody who gives information to people.
So you're like an independent journalist, right?
Yeah. And Zach, Zach had I don't think Zach had any employment. I did, very low level, entry level, but I don't think Zach had any employment experience being a journalist, but I think he had his Substack. So in that sense, sure. In some way, I consider him a journalist. Some people wouldn't. I would. He writes. He goes. You write before you journal.
What about Harkey?
He's probably his number one fan, I would say. Harkey has his stuff together. He doesn't consider himself a journalist. I think he is a journalist.
I agree with you 100%.
Harkey would go to court and understands it much better than I could. Like, he'd go to the Danny Masterson stuff and the Jane Doe lawsuit.
But he didn't go to the ones that you've gone to, right?
No, well, towards the end, we'd kind of go back and forth. It would sometimes he'd make a hearing or I would make a hearing. And it would, yeah. So we'd.
I thought he and Mindy would hook up.
What, him and Minty?
Yeah, I thought he and Mindy would have hooked up.
Oh, well, I don't know if he's dating women necessarily, although I don't.
Well, she's got a
know the
boyfriend now, right? Mindy has a
He has a
boyfriend now,
boyfriend.
right?
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think Harkey, I could be wrong about that. I don't think Harkey dates women, but I have no idea. So maybe that would have been, but they're both wonderful singers. They both had the most beautiful singing voices you could ever hear. It's like Confident Chris was not so great. And then I sing in the car a lot. But boy, Jacob and Mindy's voices, the best. The best.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Let's see, who else was what do you think of that Becky woman? What's her name?
Well, I've been part of a great controversy. Pinche, which is a curse word.
Pinche Becky. Yeah, what do you think of her?
That's a great question. I wish her well. She said I was lying. I was not. I saw her.
She said you were lying about what?
That I was speaking with Kendrick Moxon. I mean, that I saw her speaking with Kendrick Moxon and Jennifer, who's his assistant. Kendrick Moxon.
That was in court, right?
Yes, yes. So he's been one of the main Scientology attorneys. So she said I was lying that I saw them, but I know what I saw, and I'm not changing that story. I don't dislike Becky. I understand why she would speak to the prosecutor. That's why I don't understand why she just wouldn't be honest, because I said I don't think there's any shame in that. She felt like she was attacked and she felt like she was bullied. She has every right to speak to the prosecutor, but just say that that's what you like. Just say that's what you did. It's not a big deal. So I think she always tries to paint herself as the person who's always acting perfectly. And I'm one of the few people who say, if I mess up, I'll say I messed. And I don't even think she messed up, but it was a bizarre lot. It was bizarre to make that up. Other than that, I think she was sort of bullied by DOA with all the meth stuff. That wasn't her fault at all. And I think, during the encampment, she did a good job of holding down the fort, of giving supplies to people that needed it, of organizing things. So she hates me right now. That's fine. I don't dislike her. She's contributed quite a bit to the movement.
I love and appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Seriously, I'm serious.
No ill will. I mean,
Yeah. How about Laura FM?
She's been very kind to me. Very, 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 very kind to me.
Always?
Yeah. I don't think she's ever not. DOA is a different situation, but she always has been. Yeah. And she made me feel welcome. When I went to LA and I didn't have a social group. And so she invited me out to her concerts and stuff. And I'll always be grateful. Even DOA, I don't have any hatred towards DOA. We have beef now. But Laura, I don't think I'd ever have anything bad to say about Laura, really, ever. DOA, that's a very different conversation.
How did I get on?
Laura, I appreciate
Jen Well got on his bad act. How do I get on the bad actor list?
Not that hard. You're probably on it now.
Can you put my name out there so I can be a bad actor?
Absolutely. Hey, we're talking shit about him. So part of my friend. So you'll probably be on it within the next 20 minutes. Fear not. But
I'll put me in there, coach.
I'm ready to play today.
I want to be a bad actor too.
It's quite an honor. It's a great club. You'd love to have me.
Call you a bad actor too?
He has 5 times.
Yeah. Oh,
you'd be in wonderful company.
Yeah. Put me in the bad act. Put a bug in his ear. Tell him that Mike Malloy wants to be a bad actor.
That's funny. It's kind of an honor in a lot of ways.
Because that's kind of true. I am a bad actor.
Yeah. Everybody's a bad actor. That's why it's just ridiculous. And it's all these people again. Everybody.
I think Streets LA is a good actor.
I think so too. I don't. Look. It's a shame that there are all these people who have tangibly contributed a lot to the movement, who have been scared away, or not even scared away, but discouraged by DOA. And again, it was Mindy, who I think should have been more of the face of the movement, who's a lot more charismatic, personable, likable, sane, rational. Rib Guy was the guy who brought that was all his food that he brought. Cooked for like over 100 people. And then on top of that, like gave people money on top of donating a ton of his time, a ton of his supplies. He also donated the protesters. So it's like anybody that was, and even Becky was quite helpful. So DOA is always looking for a reason to antagonize somebody out of thin air. And it's like the VIP, the creme de la creme, have dissipated. I'm glad that Streets doesn't care, and he's still keeping on. But Stephanie has a question. Do you feel you have to be careful what you say sus ass in interviews, as people are offended easily today, or do you just go for it? That's a great question. No, you always have to be careful. You always have to bite your tongue. You always have to understand what the other person is thinking. And people don't like that I did election coverage in Canada, and I was sympathetic to conservative people when I was at a Pierre Poilievre rally, that's a conservative candidate, and I was sympathetic to liberal people when I was at a Mark Carney rally. But, if you're a rational journalist, you like the person aside from the politics, and you kind of want to pretend to agree with them to get them to be their most comfortable, where you could actually have a comfortable conversation. So, sometimes you have to bite your tongue, but not horribly. Still Sassy is interesting. So the movement will start up once again. If DOA goes to jail or leaves California, he'll probably at least leave California.
I agree with her saying that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought it was a chicaner's charge, and he wasn't going to go to jail, but he keeps making it worse for himself. And they're going to use DOA yelling at Becky as part of a character narrative, saying this is the pattern. He's volatile. And it's not going to look great. It's just not. And again, if anybody else were involved in it, it would be game, set, and match. But just set yourself on fire. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Or get an e-bike. He spent the money on this bike, which I think he'd crush it, quite frankly. He wanted to get a mini bike, and he spent something like $300 or $400 or something crazy. And I'm like, he's going to pulverize that poor thing. But c'est la vie.
Exactly. So what do you think of Scientology? Do you say it's a cult? Like I do?
Yes, very much. That's my
it's not like Mormonism though. I mean,
there's a lot of good Mormonism. There's a lot of good LDS. And again, in LDS, I had a lot of sober, healthy friends. I grew up, my parents were militant atheists. My entire family are militant. There's like God is evil, or not God is evil, because there is no God to them. But the conception of God is evil. People who are religious are evil. They're backwards. I was the only one who believed in Christ, that Christ is the Son of God in my entire family. So to me, LDS is as Christian as any other Christianity. Although they are, they have some interesting thoughts, but so I don't find them to be a cult. That's now, if we want to talk about the FLDS, or if you want to talk about Colonia LeBaron clan, yes, but those are not legally part of the LDS church anymore.
No,
they're not part of that church.
They are polygamous. LeBaron's polygamous.
Still Sassy just gave me
Warren Jeffs.
Right. Still, I just want to read. I did not know that.
E-bike?
That's hilarious.
Oh my God.
He just bought it like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
2 or 3 days ago. Guys, if you want to give me money for an e-bike, I'm kidding. That's insane. No, yeah. How do you break his e-bike? I wonder if his weight just.
Have you heard that before?
What about it literally came apart?
About his e-bike.
I did hear that. And I was a little perplexed, because every dollar that you raise should be going to an attorney. And the last thing that you should be doing is getting an e-bike when he already has an automobile. If you already have an automobile, you don't need another method of transportation. You could pay for the subway, you could pay for the bus, or even cheaper than an e-bike is getting an e-bike.
So he's in essence grifting.
Some people feel that way. I would say he's not grifting, because he's openly telling you what he's using the money for. It's just stupid things. So in that sense, I would actually not call him a grifter. But
does it matter to you? Not to me. Who is that? Rib Guy?
Say that again.
Does it matter to you? Not to me.
I don't know who that is.
Is that Rib Guy?
I don't think so. I don't know who that is.
Is that Rib Guy?
I like their dog. I don't know. Oh, cool. Honored to have you. Cool dog.
Oh, it is Rib Guy. Hello, Rib Guy.
Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Does he support you, I hope?
It appears he does. I always enjoyed my conversations with him when we met in person.
Have you interviewed him?
I met him. I think I met him twice. I quite liked him. Yeah. We had a nice chat.
Jen Wow knows it's Rib Guy. Okay. Hello, Rib Guy. Thanks for having me in here.
Very cool.
How did he know I was alive here with you? How did he know
I posted it. That I don't know either. I did post it on my YouTube as well. Just to drop in. So
I love it. Isn't he considered a bad actor by DOA?
He is. That's what the whole conversation we were having before, for no reason. And again, somebody who contributed financially, but also contributed with their on-the-ground effort, with actual legwork. And to negate to throw both of those out the window is, it's DOA doesn't damage just himself. He damages the support of other people when he does that. So they have real men in Australia. I was in Vietnam. Australia sent some fine. They do have very real men. They have such real men in Australia that me, as somebody who is not ultra masculine, did well, because everybody in Australia is so masculine that I came off as different and did well romantically in Australia. Australia is the land of the realest of the real men, I would say. But Miss Stephanie agrees. She says that the men here suck. Okay.
That's because Miss Stephanie's boyfriend is from Texas.
Oh, cool. Where in Texas, Stephanie? I lived in Midland for a while.
But she doesn't live in Texas. Her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend. That's what I'm asking where her boyfriend is from, though, in Texas. Because I've lived all over Texas. I lived in El Paso, so I could walk to Mexico and have a fun dating life. So I would walk to Juarez, which is the most dangerous city in the continent. I had a great time, and I had the most fun crossing the border. And then I went to Midland, and that was terrible. But Still Sassy is now you're an active Scientologist. I don't think Rib Guy's an active Scientologist. I think that is inaccurate. But get it right. I'm Osa. Right. It's hard to keep that.
Rib Guy is Osa. Did DOA say he was Osa? If he said it, it ain't true. Look at 19 people. Wow.
Is that how many people you have? Pretty good. Well, guys,
20 now. Yes. Tell your friends about my channel. I'm interviewing Dodge Landesman. Right? He's interviewing me.
A little bit of both. A nice give and take, I would say.
I love it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you have a nice cadre. But you have an impressive amount of subscribers already, though. Don't you have like 7,000? Or that's pretty good. Not easy to get there. How were you able to build up your channel?
I don't know. Word of mouth. I don't know.
It's impressive.
Yep. I have a bad connection on my end.
That's okay.
I might need Smiles. Hello. From Michigan.
Michigan's
you
beautiful.
Ever been in Michigan?
I have. I've been all over. I've been to Detroit and Lansing.
What part?
And Charlevoix and Bay City, and Traverse City. And Grand Rapids. I've never been to Kalamazoo.
Ever been to Hell, Michigan?
No, I heard that exists. Where I can't remember where that is though. Where in Michigan?
Where is it, Puppy Smiles? You know. Oh gosh.
Try to keep track. I don't think Michael said there were 7,000 people watching. They're like there weren't any.
I never said that. That's my brother exaggerating. He's my literal. He's my literal. He's like DOA.
Yes. Miss Stephanie has a weird question. important question for Dodge. Does Dodge like honey ham? I don't know what you mean by that. Like honey glazed ham, like they do in Virginia. I guess it's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite either.
Do you like honey ham, Dodge Landesman? Oh,
it's a fun question.
Do you like honey ham, Dodge?
I guess.
He wishes he was with the honey right now.
Yeah, sure.
Oh
Sure.
gosh.
That's like a Virginia thing. The honey ham.
It's like Taylor ham.
Yeah. Funny.
Taylor ham. Have you ever had Taylor ham?
No. Brand new. That's our joke. I like it. That's a perplexing joke, Miss Stephanie. I like. Keeps you on the ball. Nothing wrong with that. Mike, I might need to set off in about 5 or 10 minutes to take the dog out and everything. But no huge rush.
Let's see. So the highest is OT8, right?
Yes.
Hello, Yadira. How are you, Yadira? Yes, Yadira made it.
Cool. Hey, Yadira. Nice to have you. I think I've seen that name too, but I can't remember when.
Yadira?
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Cool.
Have you ever been to Puerto Rico? That's where she's from.
Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Been to
Yeah.
San Juan. Uh-huh. And Ponce. I think Ponce. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful there. I went for San Sebastian, the festival. Had a great time.
Oh, awesome.
Women also like me in Puerto Rico very much. They like redheads, so I had fun. 1000%. Oh, that's
Thank
very
you,
nice.
Yadira.
Yeah, club. Thank you, Yadira, as well. Did I miss? There's an opening of an Ideal Art in Puerto Rico. I might have missed it already.
There is one.
Yeah, so I was thinking about going over there, but I can't remember
that.
if it happens or not. Or once I'm on the East Coast, it'll be easier to get out. But I'll look into that because I went to Denmark and that was a lot of fun to do some protesting stuff. So I've been meaning to go to other places. So I was thinking probably because they have a big thing in Puerto Rico, but I have to look into when it is.
Okay, where was I?
Hard to keep track.
Yeah. Let's see. How long have you been covering Scientology?
Great question. Well, since I got fired, so 2 years, I guess, at this point. I had never covered that before when I was working in TV news before. Never. Like I added this one extra sentence because I did watch, like I watched, Aaron growing up in Scientology, and I watched the Aftermath show. So I was always a fan, but I never talked about it in my news work until the one time I'm like, oh, I know this stuff. I'll just include it. And then I got fired. So 2 years for Scientology now at this point. It's been fun.
What do you think of Aaron Smith-Levin?
Great question. I'm very grateful for him because he's done a lot of good for me, and most of my subscribers, or at least 60%, are because of him. I wish he were more magnanimous and apologetic, I think, in the way that he has treated some of the women he's dated, which is not acceptable. Does it get to the level of evil where other people claim? No. Is it I see him as somebody who needs to swallow his pride and minimize his arrogance, because his domineering arrogance and his need to want to possess women in a very unhealthy way is getting in the way of him growing his audience and him promoting anti-Scientology material, where his personal life, because he brings in his girlfriends into his streams, where his personal life becomes a distraction, it almost delegitimizes the movement. So I have a lot of respect for him. I think he needs to grow up. would be he still acts like a frat kid from Arizona State University who's 21 years old. And a lot of the reasons he does is because he hasn't had that childhood. But you know what, Michael, it's like both of us have some religious inclination. This is the scary part if you don't. He's morally bankrupt when it comes to dating, and that's never good. So kind of my issue. But I appreciate a lot of the work that he's done. And just because all that has happened doesn't mean he hasn't done great work and he's not still worth watching. But same with DOA. I just wish it were a different figure who is just more sane, quite frankly. And it's a little more, and it was a little less headstrong on their own pride and their own emotions. What do you feel? I know you're more supportive, I would assume.
Miss Stephanie just said Michael's going to love this. Dodge looks a bit like Prince Harry. I love it. And he's married to Meghan Marbles. What do you think of Meghan Marbles?
Stunning. And I always thought they got a bad rep because they're just trying to not do anything and be lazy. And I kind of respect that. I kind of respect them for moving across and think, you know what, we're just going to be at home for our kid most of the time and live really well and take money from Spotify and not do anything. And I kind of respect that. See, that's the grift that I respect. They're grifting too, but in a better way. So I'm one of the few that's fans of them. And of course, Meghan Markle is beautiful. A little skinny for me. I like heavier women, quite frankly.
I like Meghan Marbles. He's fortunate to be married to her.
Sure. I mean, I think anybody would be. Sure. Less my type, but still beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if I could get somebody like Meghan Markle, I'd be perfectly happy. For sure.
Let's see. What else? What do you think of Nora?
What do I think of Nora? I like Nora quite a bit. I think she's funny. I mean, I think her theme songs are kind of dumb, and she shouldn't have them because they take too long. And I'm trying to watch the content, and I don't need some AI generated song going, whoa, what's up with Nora? I don't need that. If she never listens, she should change that. But other than that, I think she's dynamic. I think she's hilarious. I don't think she's attacked people. Some would say Aaron. She's really attacked Aaron in a crazy way and unfairly. But aside from Aaron, I've been a fan of hers. But I think that the way she's dealt with Aaron has been pretty irrational too, and more extreme. She got mad at Aaron because Aaron wouldn't return her 17th text because she was really clingy. And so I'm not mad at Aaron for wanting to create that rift either, but I'm still personally a fan of hers is perhaps what I would say.
Miss Stephanie asks, who's your type then, of type of woman? And then I got a follow-up question from
it's not
Susan
society
P.
type. Somebody would be in their 40s who might be my weight, 150 pounds, but remember, they'd be shorter than me. So a woman who would be considered by society to be 20 pounds.
How tall?
No, it wouldn't matter how tall, but let's say they're 150 pounds, they'd be 5'5" or 5'6". I like shapely, hips. I like certainly heavier older women too. So whatever society, I have the opposite view of what society tells me. I mean, I like a beautiful face, obviously. But yeah, I think the heavier the woman is, the more feminine she looks, the more you can see the shape of a woman, in my opinion.
Wow.
Which has always been attractive to me. I was saying, Meghan Trainor before she lost weight would be my cup of tea, but then she lost all this weight. She's a singer, but she's one of the few heavier people that people.
How tall are you?
Of 5'10". ZDT
5'10"?
tried to say I was shorter than him. That's not true. I was taller than ZDT. That's bullshit. ZDT is probably 5'7". That's probably a good 3 inches. Because he might have been wearing these boots 2 inches, something like that, taller than him. I'm not tall, but I'm not short.
Okay.
I'm very average height, I would say.
I
wish I were taller. I'd have a better dating life.
Susan P is asking, Dodge, do you feel like DOA will serve time?
I think ultimately no.
You don't think he will?
I think he has a good lawyer, and they'll be able to figure it out at the end.
Who's this lawyer?
Dan Cape Lovitz. He used to be the editor, oddly enough, of Hustler magazine, and was in the throes, if you know the movie The People versus Larry Flint, with Woody Harrelson. He was the editor when all that lawsuit was happening, which apparently inspired him. Which apparently what are we talking? I totally blanked out. Where sometimes I have this weird like brain fart. Which inspired this attorney to get a law degree and advocate for First Amendment issues, of which he's been doing for 40 years. So I think he's pretty qualified. Miss Stephanie, you're very funny. Dot should be the next bachelor. I don't think anyone would want me, so I think I'd be a terrible bachelor, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Rib Guy has a question. Go ahead and answer his question.
He just says BRB door. Oh, Dodge, when both real bad actors are in jail and cellmates, aka Bucket Boys, well, you set up a jail.
You covered Bucket Boy in Back East?
No, but no, Bucket Boy is DOA because DOA has.
Oh, yeah. He does a bucket. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would love to. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
Oh, dude. How did Rip Guy meet DOA?
I just liked him and saw him when I went to the encampment. Because remember, I would like the first time I showed up, I've been to LA before. The first time I showed up for the protest stuff was only June, about a year ago. So I was, essentially because Aaron wanted me to rush over for this development in the Masterson stuff, and then I fell into the protest stuff. So that's how I got to meet him. I quite liked him. But DOA doesn't like anybody.
Meet DOA?
How did I? I don't. DOA just apparently showed up, and everybody thought he was Christ for some reason.
Hello, Mariska.
What's up, Mariska? I know Mariska. Hey, Mariska. Nice to have you.
Mariska Van Bunderen. She has a boyfriend named 03.
Love it.
Yeah, 03. Oh, boy.
That's very sweet. Well, somebody calls me handsome. Thank you.
Hey, she called you handsome. Mariska called you handsome.
She's talking about you, Michael. Could be talking about
No, she's talking about you, dude. I already have her digits. She called you handsome.
I'll take it. Thank you.
See, all the women gravitate to you.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I should have more confidence in myself.
Oh, maybe that's it.
You don't know. The other one is the other one is cute too. The one in the purple. Puffer P Smiles. I like her screen name. It's fun.
Puffer P Smiles?
Yeah, a few people have said nice things. So,
who's Arlene?
I don't know.
That's one of your persons, isn't it?
I don't think I know her. People seem to know her.
Oh my God! Finally, I can talk. Arlene, who are you from? I mean, are you? Hi, Yadira. Oh, she knows Yadira.
Oh wow! Thank you, Purple P Smiles. Well, as I always say, add me on Instagram.
Arlene? I don't know Arlene.
What's up?
Oh, Puffer P Smile.
Puffer.
She's in Michigan. Puffer P Smile.
Oh, I'll be going by I'll be stopping.
Oh, you're from Dodge's chat. Oh,
I actually will be. I was going to do Detroit and Ann Arbor and Lansing and.
She doesn't talk ever. Arlene, look, dude, she's from your channel. Arlene, go ahead and ask her out.
Sure. Well, you can all add me on Instagram. DODGELANDESMAN. It's just my name. I was looking at Puffer P Smiles, but Arlene can add me too.
Cupid here. She's
very nice. Thank you.
She's probably married.
Probably. Most people are. That's okay.
Just like DOA, like Aaron, like Nora. Where's she not talking about Aaron? What?
I know what she's saying. She's like, she likes Nora when she's not talking about Aaron and doesn't like the allegiance that DOA has with Nora. But when Nora's not dealing with DOA, she's saying, or not talking about Aaron, then she's interesting to watch. I feel her.
Oh.
You're funny, Miss Stephanie. I don't think I'm getting lucky, but You guys know my Instagram, Puffer. I'm waiting for you.
Miss Stephanie said, I have a feeling that Dodge is getting lucky. I have a feeling too. How does he do it? He's younger than I am, that's for sure.
51. All right, Arlene's only 51. That's totally in my age range. That's fine. Well, add me on Instagram.
Kids.
Maybe they need a new granddad. Who knows? A 34.
Oh my gosh.
Well, cool. I got one of them. I'm excited. I wonder who it is.
What would she have? Are you ready? Are you planning on having a ready-made family?
Maybe someday.
Maybe. She's 51.
That's fine. Well, I got one from Mariska. Thank you. I got one from Mariska. I'm waiting on Arlene and Puffer.
What?
It'll be like the Hunger Games. Kidding. It will be like The Bachelor. Maybe I should be in The Bachelor. Oh, there you go. Just divorced a 34-year-old.
The dating game will back at 2 and 2.
It depends on where they live, though. If they live far away, then no. But Puffer says she's going to stalk me. So hopefully, again, it's Dodge Landesman is my Instagram. DODGELANDESMAN. So
just divorced.
So what's Arlene?
34-year-old.
She looks like very young for 52.
She just divorced a 34-year-old, dude.
So I got
there you go. You have a chance. But she has.
I'll be 35 in November. So
you're 34.
That's hilarious. Marissa says yes. Yeah, I'm 34. Mariska says you both follow Reese Witherspoon. Nice. Yeah, we got that. I like her. I'm a big fan of hers. Lots of doggo pictures. Yes, I got a lot of dog pictures.
Dodge you're popular, dude.
Thank you. I have my cadre. Oh, good. And Puffer is following me back. No pictures.
If I was Dodge, man, I'd be eating this all up.
Like something I like, which is to smoke certain things.
He has his own car.
Me and Puffer have that in common.
Bought and paid for. But he has a big dog. You have a big dog. What kind of dog is it?
I found him on the street in Mexico. So I'm not sure, but he's probably half shepherd, would be my guess.
Cool.
This is cool. I got some. I think Puffer might be my favorite because Puffer enjoys cannabis, and I enjoy that too. So, grower with MS. That's okay. Not super fun. Grower is badass though. Cool. Well, we got some fun people. I've been compared to Reese a lot back in the day. All right. Cool. This is fun. Well, I might need to jet off. Unfortunately, my dog is itching for a walk.
Oh my goodness, Dodge! It was sure a pleasure. It was sure a pleasure having you here.
Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine.
Will you please come on my panel again sometime?
Yeah, I'd love that. Just let me know, and a week. Maybe we'll do it in a week or something. Send me a follow-up email, and I had the time of my life. You have some great questions, so
that sounds good.
This is a lot of fun
next
for
week
me.
or whatever.
Great, let's do it. So we'll email.
Hit me up. You have my email. Hit me.
I will hit you up. Right. Perfect. Well, Michael, you're the best. I had a great time. Thanks for the opportunity, guys. If you're a fan of mine, subscribe to the Michael Malloy Show, and we have a great rapport with you. So many laughs, and we'll do this in the future.
Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We do a lot of these things. I last time I interviewed Reese, which was really interesting.
She's an interesting person, definitely.
Do you know Reese?
I know of her. I've never met her. She's an interesting character.
She's great, man.
She is very dynamic. Yeah. And I like how open she is. I think that's a nice quality.
Yeah, she's got a great personality.
Yeah.
Please put Reese's channel in here so people can go.
Relatable Reese.
Yeah. Have you interviewed her?
I've never interviewed her.
No. Oh, you should interview her. She's great. She's awesome.
Cool. Well, check it out. Jackney, you're welcome. Says thanks for boosting your brother.
Wait, how tall are you? 5'10"?
5'10".
There you go. He's tall. I'm short. He's tall.
Someone consider that average height, but
What?
Some would consider 5'10" average height, but it's all subjective, I suppose.
Thank you, Yadira. All right. God bless you,
God bless.
Dodge. Let's do this again.
100% guaranteed in the future we shall do it.
Thank
you,
you.
Michael. Great
You
to meet
take
new
care.
friends. Take care.
Peace. Bye-bye. There he goes. Dodge, my buddy. That was awesome. He's got a leg up on you, Michael. He sure does. I'm a short, stubby guy. Yeah, and Yadira, can you put Dodge's channel in here too? I don't mind sharing. Dodge Lannisman. Oh boy. He does have a leg up on me, I have to admit. Sure. Thank you, Yadira. That was fun. It was enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. It's a good guy. Anyway, I think it's about time that I get out of here so I can rewatch this show because I missed a lot. I missed a lot. Thank you, Yadira. Put in Dodge Lanniman and put in Reese's channel. Great interview. Thank you, Miss Stephanie. Yeah. I think Miss Stephanie was smitten with Dodge. All the women's like Dodge. You're welcome, sir. Put Reese's channel in, Yadira, please. You're leaving? Yep. Rib Guy, Michael. That is for interviewing Jay Denver Scientology audit back in the day. You showed how good of a guy he is. He is a great guy. Thanks. You're welcome, Rip Guy. Thank you. Rib Guy, you're awesome, dude. All of you guys. Oh, Puppy Smiles is saying that Dodge is easy on the eyes. Oh boy. What did Jack me want to come on for? I got to get ready for dinner tonight. I don't know what they're having. Oh man, I'm crushed. Why? Just Puffer P Smiles are cracking me up. Gosh, that was awesome, guys. Yeah. There's another person I want to interview that I've never interviewed yet. Love to have an interview. Another one. A different person, though. You still don't know who the heck I am? Wow. Nah, just fun. Oh, okay. Okay. It's time for me to bow out of here. 19 people watching. Wow. I never get this. Guys, tell your friends about my channel, please. Oh, no, I'm thinking of another person. Oh, you can put Lucky Chucky. Can you swoon on him? Who the heck that? You have 03, Mariska. Yeah, got a good point. I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys later. I had fun. Thank you. I want to thank Dodge. Great guy. Take care, everyone. God bless. Have a great weekend, what's left of it. It is Sunday. Bye-bye, everyone. God bless you.